This is Operations Officer Ghjnn. So I've been burning the candle on both ends today. Pretty much since yesterday, actually. And I don't know. All I know is there is a threat, a very significant threat. And the kind of like gymnastics that being thrown around, well, that's probably part of the process. But I mean, what happened in Boston yesterday, was it yesterday? The day before yesterday? I don't know. Someday. Was part of an incredibly sophisticated operations conducted by the CIA. Oddly enough. Anyway, but now our adversaries, the Dairy Queens, the demon monkeys, they know it. They know what it was. The problem is that since it had to happen that way, history shows it had to happen that way, then, well, anyway, the message was conveyed. See, I conveyed a message. Now they sent a message back to me. And so, I don't know. But it was like, I don't know. It's like killing a fucking mosquito with a fucking elephant gun. But still, I guess it had to happen that way. So, the problem is that if you feel the fire in your belly, if your hair's on fire, if there's fire everywhere, then you got to figure there's got to be somebody like a fire department to put out the fire. Think of John Wayne. You know, I don't know. They got to put out the fire. The problem is it's all kind of a combination of witchcraft and sorcery and high-tech mumbo jumbo. It's just, you know, it's incredibly. It's like the most disgusting stew you ever had in your life. Think of it that way. It's really a nasty stew. Anyway, there's a movie called Push. It relates to an organization called the Division. There really is a division. That doesn't make sense, does it? But there really is. There really is. There is an organization within the United States government whose sole purpose is to find people who have paranormal abilities and use them. So anyway, so I'm being surveilled 24/7. I mean, every motherfucker on the street I can figure either is working for my people or working for the adversaries. There's no neutrals around. There ain't no motherfucking civilians in this fucking place. Every one of these motherfuckers either on one side or the other. Some of them play both sides. But to put a point to this whole thing, there is a thing called a thermonuclear bomb or thermonuclear device. It really is. They're not fictitious. Anyway, back in the day when Edward Teller and others were working out the details of the H-bomb, there was somebody had in their mind how to build a fusion-only bomb. That is, typically, to make an H-bomb, you have to use a fission device to set it off. And once you set it off, then it becomes possible to make the fusion reaction occur. But the thing is, people have speculated about the possibility of a fusion-only explosion, such as you might find in the sun. You know, I believe I know what the details are of that kind of endeavor. What you really need to do is just build a very deep vacuum somewhere, and then place within the vacuum a small amount of gas. Hydrogen would be sufficient. Anyway, and then ignite the center of the cavity sufficiently hot so that there occurs a fusion reaction. And to make it work better, you have to have some fuel Water works nice. Surround it with water, it gets hot, becomes plasma, and kabooey. So if you want to build something that really, really has a lot of bang for the buck, all you need to get is some water. Some water and a little bit of air. And you have the most destructive force on Earth, or any world for that matter. The problem is, I think somebody's figured out how to do it, or how to use it anyway. So, and I call it a multiplier. Say, like, let's say you have your standard thermonuclear warhead, such as was stolen by, well, nefarious people in 2009 in October in Boston from Air Force One. Well, you can use that technology as a multiplier to make the bomb much bigger, more destructive, the yield greater. So maybe let's say, I don't know, the device that was stolen was probably only 100 kilotons. Well, you can make it into something as big as 4 or 5 megatons. So it's big. It's a big motherfucker. I mean, typically, most of the United States arsenal has, well, I guess 1 or 2 megaton devices in most warheads. This thing would be a monster. It would destroy a whole fucking city. Depending if you were like in New Jersey or Delaware or Rhode Island, it would destroy the whole goddamn state. So the problem is, with somebody having that technology, they could resort to nuclear blackmail. That is to say, they will hold this threat over your head and say, you submit or we'll destroy. And of course, if you're the President of the United States, you have to think about that. And more importantly, you have to think about the device. The device itself, where its origins came from. Anyway, I was there in Boston in 2009, so I know. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I gotta figure out what the fuck to do next. Problem is, every fucking word I say, it turns into a fucking lightning bolt. Like Zeus.